Ritual practices in the Philippines take a multitude of forms and take place on any number of occasions, reflecting the intentions that motivate the practice. There is a great range of variability in the degree of elaborateness and sophistication, and in the way that they employ narratives and symbolic gestures. At the core of any ritual is the fundamental belief that there exists a delicate balance between man and nature and the spirit world. These rituals exist even before the dramatic history of Philippines happened. The country's transitional history under the different foreign colonizers brought with it varying influences, including that of religion and belief systems. During pre-colonial times, the area of what is now known as Philippine Archipelago practiced a form of animism. Archaeological research also found traces of Buddhism. Then when the Spanish came, massive movements to convert Filipinos to Christianity took place, leaving the country to this day with a majority of its population Roman Catholic. And with many Filipinos possessing Chinese ancestry, they have adopted belief systems from that culture as well. This diversity is why the Philippines is so unique in its spiritual aspects. Being both religious and superstitious led to the creation of different Filipino traditions. Philippines is a country with millions of devotees cramming the streets of Manila during the feast of the Black Nazarene, and with people actually flagellating and crucifying themselves during Holy Week Good Friday. However, it's also a country with people who refuse to go directly home after a wake for fear that the spirit follows them home, and forbid that the weddings of two immediate family members fall within the same year in fear of bad luck. And if we're talking about Filipino traditions, it's not a Filipino tradition when we don't have the 3-month celebration of Christmas. The decorating and music starts in October and reaches a fever pitch in the days before December 24th. Early morning mass, midnight feasting, and diligent gift buying all features in the festive period. The colorful parol, or the Christmas star lantern, symbolizes the holiday across the islands. And if we're gonna talk about holidays, birthdays, celebrations, we should never forget the competitive karaoke session that we have in every Filipino household. It's common for Filipinos to have karaoke machine in their houses, several mics, and heaps of old 80s love ballads on disc. And if we speak about music and 80s love ballads on disc, the Filipino way of wooing is still called courting, and its rituals can feel quite old-fashioned. One of its ways is called harana, where a guy who is the suitor is tasked to sing for the woman they are wooing. Catholic women are expected to stay virgins until marriage, and so courting is generally a dignified and polite way for teenage boys and girls to get to know each other without any hanky-panky involved. Suitors or interested males may send their regards, shower females with gifts over the years, and go on dates supervised by a chaperone. Of course, much of the younger generation is keen to get away from these old norms, but the traditional practice is still rife among middle-class families. Courting is also a way of showing respect to the family of the woman you are wooing, and one act of respect is called pagmamano. It is usually done to someone either older or a person of the religious order. It is usually accompanied by saying mano po, mano meaning hand in Spanish, and po, a particle in Filipino speech used to express respect. The saying is used to ask for the elder's hand, followed by a slight bow and the act of touching the hand to the forehead. People do this action as if to receive the elder's blessing, to which they would normally reply, "God bless you." Filipinos love parties, celebrations, festivals, parades. If you've ever lived in a small town in the Philippines, you'll just know how much the Filipinos love their parade. Each village and city has its own fiesta, which it celebrates in unique style. And there are many more festive occasions throughout the year call for an organized march through the streets. And every region has its own festival. Sinulog Festival for Cebu, Ati-Atian Festival for Aklan, Dinagyang Festival for Iloilo, Mahiyas Festival for Lucban, Quezon, Managbenga Festival for Baguio City, Lechon Festival of Batangas, Kadayawan Festival of Davao City, Mascara Festival of Bacolod, Suna Festival of General Santos City, and the Gigantes Festival of Angono, Rizal. I didn't include a lot of rituals and traditions, but as a reflection, I think these rituals and traditions are what makes our identity as a Filipino more distinct. It's what makes us different. It's what sets us apart from others. For example, on our fellow Filipinos here who belongs to a tribe, their culture, their norms, their rituals is what sets them apart from other tribes, and also their language, which is a part of their own culture and tradition. These rituals is what intensifies our own identity. So I think these rituals and traditions were influenced by other countries that have colonized our country. What makes it ours, even if it's influenced, is because it's a combination, or we had our own version of it. And because it has been celebrated annually, like the festivals, it became tradition. It's important to be reminded or to be educated about rituals and to be reminded about tradition of this country, because it's what makes our identity as Filipinos. It's what makes us Filipinos. It is very important to respect rituals and traditions. Some of it are not practiced anymore, but it is still important to get educated about these things, because as I've said, this is what makes us Filipinos. That's all. Thank you.